There have been a whole spate of articles lately about unruly airline passengers and how flight attendants are getting fed up with passengers who are unruly and nasty and sometimes even violent, and that something needs to be done about this pernicious trend. And I just like to add something to this this notion that the media is seeding out into the culture right now. That the problem is that all these airline passengers are just are just so becoming so ill behaved. This all revolves around the mask thing, and I get the impression that for some passengers, it's probably just that they're sick of wearing those stupid things on their faces, that it's really dumb that you're able to take them off when you eat, but then after you're done eating, you have to put them back on. Makes absolutely no sense at all in the world. If the airlines actually thought that flying on planes, taking passengers on planes was a health hazard, they would stagger the seats and allow fewer passengers on the planes. But then by doing that, they would lose money, and they don't want to do that. They don't want to lose money, of course. So instead, they just enforce this dumb mask mandate. They enforce the wearing of masks, which never have been effective, which have never worked, which have always simply been theater, and always simply been virtue signaling. And so I just want to report one incident I remember when I flew to South Dakota, Rapid City, South Dakota, back in February. I remember there were a couple guys sitting next to me who I don't think spoke English, but this one flight attendant was just really kind of nasty to them. Like when they didn't have their mask totally covering their noses, she was all over them. And then she saw them again. She said, "If I see you without your mask on properly, I'm going to call the pilot." Or she threatened something like that. She was escalating the rhetoric. And the guys, I don't think they spoke English. I don't think they necessarily knew that much what was going on, but they didn't retaliate. They didn't respond in kind or anything. But I could see if the flight attendants are going around being all dictatorial, being all holier than thou, talking to people like they're children, if their mask is like gotten under their nose or something like that. And the passengers say, "Hey, you don't need to talk to me that way," and then things go from there. I could see that being reported as an unruly passenger. I mean, everything we hear about is from the perspective of the authority figure. If there had been a news story about me getting kicked out of the mall a few days ago, it would have all been from the point of view of those worthless mall cops. And from their point of view, I guess, I don't know, I was some some bad person because I had my shoe off for a second, and then I put it back on. And then laughed at the guy and told him to go away and treated him with disrespect, which he richly deserved. I don't see why people going around wearing uniforms and badges deserve our respect, and I could see, I don't see why they get to talk to people however they feel it's appropriate to talk to people. I don't see how they get to be condescending to, in this instance, airline passengers, and then it becomes, when the passengers don't like getting talked to that way over some stupid rule like this masking thing. Remember, on the box it says not effective against COVID-19. Just a little reminder there. Anyhow, just to add some texture and some dimension to these news stories, because we've been blitzed. I mean, I've heard more than I've heard it like 4 or 5 times now. Oh, unruly passenger does this. Unruly passenger disrupts flight. And in some cases, I'm sure the passengers were actually unruly. And of course, I wouldn't condone the passenger, like actually striking out at anybody, no matter how much of a bitch this lady's being to you. You don't smack her in the face or anything. But if he says something back like, "Don't talk to me that way," I don't have to take this. And sounds like he means business, then that'll get chalked up to an unruly passenger, someone who's refusing to follow the rules and so forth and so on. So take those stories with a grain of salt, and remember that the mainstream media are all liars, and on top of everything else. And whenever they decide to blitz a particular kind of story, it's probably 180% the other way than the way they report it. So just wanted to register that. Thanks for watching. My name's Andy Nowicki. You can check out my work at altrightnovelist.com.